Welcome to SoCal Sports Report's 103rd podcast. I am your host, John Stellman, along with John Adams, Corey Wojo, and we've got a load of topics to get after tonight, so we're going to go right to it. I also like to welcome any new listeners or viewers, all of you who have been watching. Go ahead and subscribe to the show if you get a chance. We'd appreciate it, and it always, every little bit helps. All right, let's get into it. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Lakers. Start with the Lakers. That was a monster game that LeBron and Zion had the other night. That was a classic. It was like the old guard and the new guard, but what a matchup! And I'm sure that TNT or ABC or whoever is hoping for a 1-8 matchup with that. What do you guys think about the that particular game? I mean, it was a classic.
Well, I mean, I know that you mentioned that you kind of putting Williamson in the same boat as LeBron. Is he the new LeBron? Or what? I mean, to me, I think that's just a big ask. I don't look at, is he electric? Yes. Is he great for the game? Yes. But he scores 95% of all his points inside the paint. He pushes people around. A lot of them are dunks and layups. So in my mind, until he starts to progress into an outside shooting game and can bring the ball up the court and all that kind of stuff, then you can possibly start to throw him into the same category as LeBron in his younger years. But in my mind, I think he's only played a month or just over a month, so it's still new to me. But he's great.
He's only 19.
Yeah, he is. But again, I think he needs to grow a little bit more and learn the game a little bit more. It's much different from 1 year. 2 years ago, he was playing high school basketball, right? So that's something you got to kind of take in. And now he's playing every day with the best players in the world. So
and he's holding his own.
Right, he is, but he's holding his own inside, right?
Sure.
And so if you're going to consider him a guard, I don't know what he is. He's more of a small forward to me. Yeah. But yes, I mean the legs are absolutely gigantic.
They're 19-year-old legs.
Yeah, right. And he can jump out of the roof,
right?
And he plays aggressive basketball, which is great. I mean, like I said, it's great for the game. I think it's great for New Orleans because that whole team's young and they're trying to build there. Ingram's doing a hell of a job, there also, and so. I just hope that he progresses, right, and doesn't get kind of typecast as this guy that only scores inside the paint, right? So, but again, it was a great game.
Not a Ron Kittle, right?
Right,
one and done sort of.
Right, exactly.
But I mean, I love watching him, right? And that's all. I don't care about what he's going to do 10 years from now, whatever. I like watching him right now. He's exciting. He goes after things. I mean, he's a 19-year-old kid going up against 30-plus-year-old. Grown men, right? And he's only going to get better as long as he can stay healthy and not get too Charles Barkley-ish.
Right.
Yeah,
Although Barkley had a hell of a career, but I just think he needs to learn how to score other than a dunk or a layup or a loose ball.
He's got 5 3-pointers this year.
Yeah.
That's more than
true. More than the Laker guards.
Right.
He, like I say, he's got a ways to go, but he's getting off to a good start.
Yeah.
What do you guys do with this open roster spot now? Did I miss something? Did they do anything today?
They didn't do anything today. I looked. They, had a couple of guys try out. J.R. Smith came in, and
Winters, I guess, was impressive.
Right. Yeah. Dion Waiters.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty impressive. They talked to him. He talked to all the higher ups and everything, but they haven't made any decision. I don't think they're in a rush. I don't know what the deadline is for them to have that spot filled, but
no, they're all right. They're all right. The guys had to be bought out by the 31st of March to be eligible.
Right.
So they're set there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason. I mean, they're not in a bidding war for any of these guys. So
no, these are all, who's going to hold LeBron's, warm-ups after he throws them.
Yeah, I mean, they got rid of Troy Daniels, right? So there's nothing like they're missing, right? It's not a gap that they need to fill as of now. But, I mean, J.R. Smith hasn't played since November
19th,
2018, and he played for a total of 5 minutes and had 2 points. Right. So I don't know. Are they just? Or is that LeBron saying I need my boy in? Because he can handle the playoff situation and Dion Waiters is a guy that's got himself in trouble a little bit. Yeah. But I mean, both of them are known to be pretty good shooters and be able to move the ball down the court and become pretty good offensive players for them, which they need. They need scorers, right? So to help out the other guys. So I'll kind of wait and see what's going to go on. I mean, it was interesting they brought up Lance Stevenson's name again, so I'm like, he's more of a bully than he is anything else, right? I'd rather have, I think Morris is going to be our bully, right? He'll push the guys around. We need guys that can score, right? And I think, more the Waiters might be the way to go there than J.R. Smith, who hasn't really played basketball in a while.
I just think if you let Troy Daniels go, he was a 3-point shooter. That's what Waiters is.
Right.
I mean, why don't you strengthen an area that's weak, which is your wing?
Right.
Rather than just trading a guard for a guard.
Right.
I don't see what that accomplishes.
Right.
Really.
I agree. That's exact. And that's where, Kuzma's making all his shots from 3 on the corners,
yep.
right? So when AD goes down, he has to go fill that spot. And, they go into Memphis and get smoked, right? And then they come, and then Kuzma hangs in there against New Orleans, and they play great basketball, and they end up winning. So with AD on the bench, so it was a good bounce back from their loss. And then they go. Don't they play Friday? Right? Don't they play
Philly tonight?
Philly tonight.
Yeah.
They play somebody big on Friday too.
They got. Well, when does that Clipper make it?
Is it Milwaukee?
Milwaukee.
They may play Milwaukee on
Bucks,
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Right. So that's gonna be a true test of where they stand. Because Milwaukee beat them up last time. I think pretty good. So.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting. I don't think they beat them that badly. 10 points, and I don't think AD played in that game.
Yeah, Friday's the Bucks.
Yeah. When's the Clipper game comes up? Does it come in between these two games?
Not in between. Clippers is on Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
So there's a good series of basketball coming up here for them.
Yeah, this will be a good test.
They're going to catch the Sixers at the right time, though.
Oh, yeah.
Half of their team's on the injured reserve, so.
Yeah, they made a big deal about the Clippers' 6-point win over Philly when everybody was out, like tonight. I mean, Philly scored 130 points against the Clippers without their, the big guys.
Yeah.
So, Lakers down the stretch. I took a look at the strength of schedule just to see how they've got a pretty good lead, pretty safe lead. I think in the loss column there's 6 ahead of the Clippers and Denver. They've got 13 losses, and those teams have 19. So that's always a good sign. If the league wants New Orleans in there, they've got the easiest schedule down the stretch.
New Orleans does.
Yeah, number 30 in the league. They're playing. The combined winning percentage of their teams is 441. Memphis is number 4 at 542. So I don't know if I want to mess with Memphis in the playoffs.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to.
Well, I think New Orleans will give you a run for the money. If they got Redick healthy, and
yeah, they could.
They could actually, again, what those first games are best of 5s. Are they?
I don't know if they're 5s or 7s. I think they're 5s.
I think they're 5s, and then you go to the second round. I think it's 7s.
Yeah.
But New Orleans can hold their own, but I don't know if they can hang for 5 games. That's where the depth of the team and experience actually can come into play there. So, but yeah, both those teams are again, let's see how they're playing going into the playoffs, right? If they're playing and like a team like New Orleans, who's going against the 30th record in the NBA, and they got a lot of momentum going in where they're 12-2 or something like that in their last 14 starts. I mean, watch out, like they might have a ton of confidence, but both those teams can get scary. I mean, they can score.
It's not going to be any pushovers in the West.
No, the West is going to be a
It's
great
loaded.
battle.
Yeah, it's loaded.
Yeah, and I got some stuff that we're going to talk about the Clippers, but started looking into the West having all these
Duos.
There's 2 duos, and it's crazy what the West has and what
you've
the
got
East
the
has.
Lakers, you've got Houston, you've got the Clippers.
Right.
You know, I
you
mean,
got even
KC.
don't skip Porzingis
Oklahoma
in Dallas.
Yeah.
You got those
Dallas
guys.
scares
Dallas?
the heck out of me.
Right. They just can't play defense.
Right. But they can fill it up. They're
Right,
like
exactly.
Loyola Marymount back in '92 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Who's the number 2 in Milwaukee? All you hear about is Giannis. Who?
I don't know, but there's another guard up in Portland actually that helps out up there too, and they're high scoring there too.
A lot of good combos.
Yeah, there's a lot of combos in the West, right? So
Used to be a trio, but now it's a combo.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Yeah. But these 1-2 punches in the West are stupid good.
Right.
I mean, I think Hardman and Westbrook are averaging 60 something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Crazy.
That's going to be like I say, that's going to be fun.
So what we said, the Western Conference Finals is going to be the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
I think.
And then the finals will be like the All-Star game, right? It's just going to be a blowout. It's going to be the Generals versus the.
It could be. I mean, depending on how you do at home, right?
Right.
So where do if the Clippers and Lakers would meet in the West Final? If the Lakers are the 1 seed, where would the Clippers have to be seeded? Would they have to be the
Well, see,
2 or 3?
Here's my take on the Clippers right now.
Yeah,
I don't know if your guys are thinking the same thing. In my mind, right, I don't think their mindset is to win the conference, right?
No.
I don't think their mindset is to win that.
Never.
Their deal is to win the championship, right? Yeah. So
Be healthy.
they don't care if they
Be
come
healthy.
in 3rd, 4th, 5th. I mean, I don't think they really care.
No.
Because they know if I'm 100% healthy and I got all my guys clicking and I've got, George and Leonard playing together the last 15 games and they're getting on in sync, if I got everybody that's healthy and with that bench, I'm okay. I am okay.
Yeah.
I don't care who I'm facing. Give me whoever. If I can come in that 2nd, 3rd spot, and just be healthy and ready to go, and my superstars are clicking, watch out. I don't really think they're the 1 seed. They don't care what seed they are. Just keep me in that top 8. But if I can get on the top 2nd or 3rd, which that's probably going to happen, because Leonard and George really haven't played a lot together. Why?
Only nine games together.
Right? Load management. They're resting their guys.
Right.
And that's exactly what the Lakers are going to have to do, because can the Lakers, if they have to play a lot of Game 5s, Game 6s, and Game 7s to get to the championship, I think they're going to run out of steam. Where that bench for the Clippers is good, and they went out and got Morris's brother, and they just got more depth there. And
they've got 2 good teams on that team, right?
They do.
I mean, they do not lose too much by going to Team B.
Right? And I think that Doc is preaching we need to be healthy. Don't worry about the conference championship. We'll be okay. Just get us in the playoffs and then let us do our thing. And I have a feeling watch out.
Yeah.
I mean, this is bad by me, but have the Clippers ever won the championship?
No.
No.
I don't think they have. All right.
No, they lost to the Rockets and Golden State in the conference championship.
Okay. So that's the team that I think is the scariest.
Scary.
Oh, yeah.
It's a team that I think is managing themselves to be perfect and ready to go once the playoffs healthy. If that means I got to sit this guy for a week just to get him treated and I'm going to lose 2 out of 4 games, I don't care. I need this guy to be 100%.
Right.
And I just think they're just stacking it up. I think they're stacking it up.
How much fun would that be to watch the Lakers-Clippers battle it out for the conference championship?
Oh, it'd be awesome.
That'd be epic.
That would be great. And the NBA would love it. Right?
Yeah.
So would Ballmer, because then he would take that money and he'd go buy his buy the Forum.
Yeah.
So how serious is that? Because I thought he was gonna. Because I thought the guys that bought the Forum, MSG, right? They converted it strictly for concerts.
Right.
So I thought Ballmer was going to buy right next door and build his own.
He did. He has land next door, but the reason he's going to buy the Forum is to get through the conflict with MSG.
Yeah.
And some of the environmental reports that he's having to do right now.
Okay.
Right. You buy the Forum, you own the land, you raise it, and you start afresh. Right. And in 2 years, you're in a brand new state-of-the-art facility.
So will he? Okay. So he'll use the Forum until that's built.
No, he'll be stay in the Staples Center. He's buying the Forum just so he can have the land and that entire parcel.
Gotcha.
Right.
Wow.
And no conflict. He's buying out the conflict, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. The MSC was going to sue because
of the conflict.
He wants to do concerts, and that's what the Forum does. And so, yeah, he just wants to get rid of all that.
And he can. Right. How much? Okay, there you go. I didn't know. I thought it was a group of guys. I didn't know it was Matt until you put it on there. MSG actually owned it. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't know who wants to deal with Dolan anyway. That idiot.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, geez. Spike Lee went off on him today on social media. Just ripped on him because he came in through the employee entrance and they asked him like, no, you got to go in through the. He's like, for 28 years I've been coming through this entrance. So then Dolan came across and he's like, hey, can we talk outside? And he's like, no, no. He goes. What's funny is I'm 1 day late making the payment for these outrageous prices for these 4 tickets, and then you do this to me. Like I've been one of your number one fans for this long.
Yeah, exactly.
28 years I've been coming in through this from this deal, and now all of a sudden I can't. Oh man, he was going off on him. It's on social media. You should see it. So
sure, there'll be a movie about it later.
His earpiece kept falling out. He's like he's pissed off. He just keeps going in. It's hilarious. So.
So it'll be a good test for the Lakers coming up, playing those teams. Let's talk about the Bruins.
Let's talk about the Bruins.
Bruins did what they had to do.
What a week!
Yeah, they swept the Arizona Schools, which is the first step. Now they got to go down and beat USC, which is very, very possible. I'm still not sure. How does the tiebreaker work? If they and Oregon end up tied, is it head to head? I don't know how.
I think it's head to head first, and then it's conference.
Well, they play each other twice, right?
They should have already played because this is a USC game. Isn't
that
it?
last game is
last
USC
game of the season.
So it's not a best out of 3. They only play each other twice, right?
Well, I don't think they played. Did everybody play everybody twice? I don't think.
Yeah,
they did.
you play home and away.
Yeah, just
well,
twice.
If it's a Pac-12.
But then they have a Pac-12 tournament.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with it.
Right.
That's completely separate, right?
Right.
But the Pac-12 championship is, I think they probably look at home and away, and if it's a push there, I don't know what the next criteria is.
Conference.
The conference champion, the tournament champion is going to get an automatic bid.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I tell you what, UCLA has
the tournament champion will get the automatic conference tournament.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, I think. So.
Because UCLA is not even in the top 25 right now.
No.
Yeah, but I think they've worked themselves into the tournament.
Oh yeah.
I think they've worked themselves into the tournament. So.
Yeah, not according to all the guys all the brackets I looked at. First 4 out. They're looking at
first 4 out.
Really?
Yeah. So
they have to play well in the tournament then.
They got to beat SC.
Right.
And then they've got to continue the hot streak into the tournament.
So you're saying if they beat SC, and let's just say Oregon loses to Oregon State or whoever they're playing, right?
Pac-12 champion.
Does UCLA get in if they go 1 and out in the Pac-12 championship?
I think
in the tournament.
I think they do.
No.
Only because right now they have SC at like the 34th seed out of the 68.
USC.
Yeah, USC. So if they beat SC, I think that helps.
And
their strength.
and UCLA is not above them.
UCLA is not even listed.
And they have a better record than USC.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it just shows the
strength of schedule.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, strength of schedule and
here's my take on this whole deal, right? So is the Pac-12 even worthy of going for a run at all in the tournament? They're known, other than in Arizona here and there, and in Oregon here and there, from really just.
No, you have.
They've been terrible in the tournament.
You have WAC teams that are higher rated than
San Diego State.
Yeah.
Well, San Diego State, Utah, Gonzaga, St. Mary's.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at some.
So I'm just wondering, I don't think the committee is big Pac-12.
No. Because
they haven't really. They've had only one team even make a run. Like the other teams are like. They either win a game and then lose a game, or they win the USC sometimes wins the play-in game or whatever. But I just don't see it as a very tough, conference.
It's not.
I don't think
They're
it is.
losing the recruiting battle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not a good conference. It's not.
It's no ACC or SEC or.
I don't even know how many. If you don't win the conference championship, I don't know how.
Three will get in.
3 teams will get in.
Yeah.
That's not many.
So that's probably gonna be Oregon,
And one of the maybe one of the Arizonas.
Arizona, one of the Arizonas, right? They're all about the same, right?
Yeah, but the SEC is going to have 8 teams, and the ACC will have.
Well, there's
6.
a lot of media bias going on as well.
Oh, yeah,
the majority
yeah.
of those guys are drinking beer in a bar in Boston. So
Well, Duke continues to lose every week, and they're still in the top 10.
yeah, Duke loses to West Virginia or something like that, and they're still number 7.
Yeah,
But again, that's probably the toughest conference in the U.S., right?
Yeah, but look at the losses.
Virginia lost to Sisters of Mary from the Braille or something like that. I mean,
hey, they can score.
they can. I mean, they can. They've got a good
great
touch
defense.
from the outside. I understand.
You watch Duke though. If they don't get they won't get a number 1 seed, but they'll play 5 miles away from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
They'll still play, in Coach Cade's neighborhood.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
In North Carolina, I wonder if North Carolina's going to get in. They've had a terrible year.
No, they're horrible.
They're
they already
terrible.
had their championship, and that was against Duke.
They lost in overtime, right?
But Duke lost to NC State by a bunch as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
They've
getting
had some
torched.
terrible.
But they have 6 losses.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And UCLA has 11. So.
Well, that's what the committee will come back at you with.
Right.
Yeah, I think if UCLA wants to get in, they better win the. Pac-12 championship.
They better win the Pac-12, and they better win the tournament. Yep. But right now they're rolling. They're hitting on all cylinders right now. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. It's and they believe now. They start to believe. They believe in themselves.
Sure.
They're listening to the coach. They're doing what he says.
UCLA's 12-5. Oregon's 11-5, but Oregon's 22-7 overall.
Yeah.
So the start for UCLA has not helped them at all, right? So they're 19-11.
Right, 19-11. But they can be 20-11 to finish out the regular season.
Arizona State is 10-6.
Yeah.
Colorado 10-7. USC 10-7. Arizona's 9-7. I don't think Arizona's going to get in, right?
No.
So the big records here: Oregon's 22-7. Colorado is 21-8.
Right.
Although they've been playing terrible lately. Stanford is 20-8, and then that's about. So I think you're right. I think UCLA has to go far in the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they have to beat USC.
Yeah.
Right?
They have to get to like 24,
because USC's 21-9.
Right.
USC's 21-9.
Yeah.
So.
But if they lose to UCLA, it doesn't matter, right?
No, but I think if UCLA wins, right, and then they go, so it could be another. I don't know. But I think USC will have to win the tournament to get in.
Sure.
I think.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. They're not going to get in. They won't even be a first 4 or whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah, they need to win it. Let's switch to a little bit of baseball, a little bit of spring training.
Sweet. All right. Here we
Watch
go.
out, buckle up.
A little nervous about Griffin Canning.
Don't be nervous. He'll have surgery. He'll be back in 18 months and be good as new.
The Angels have a streak going here. They've had a guy on the Tommy John every year for the last 4 or 5 years.
Name one team that hasn't, right? I mean, Severino's down, and all these big pitchers are going down. It's a sign of the times because these kids have been pitching since they're 8 years old, and they're
throwing curveballs in Little League.
Well, it's not even the curveballs; it's the amount of innings.
Right.
It's the fact that they're throwing 200 innings a year between their travel team and their high school team,
right.
and everything like that, and then their summer team. So it's just a product of and they're going harder, and it's just what it is. But
and a lot of pressure too. A lot of win. Those travel teams are, you got to win.
You play the game to win.
That's right.
That's right. One of the things is interesting. I just saw that they said, he'll start on the IL to start the season. And I'm like, isn't it just get it done? Like, is it that bad? Like, you think he's going to –
You're talking about Canning? Though?
Yeah. So I guess my question is, he takes the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks off?
Last month off, yeah.
Last month off, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes into the off season. Is he not throwing? Is he not feeling any pain? And then all of a sudden he goes to spring training and it flares up again. Like, what's happening in this off season? So my take is were they even talking Tommy John
They should have been
at the end of the season and got this thing going to maybe he's able to throw, at the very end of the season? I don't know, but why are you even delaying this to go on the IL?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's Tommy John, then it's Tommy John. I swear, if I was a pitcher from another team and they said, yeah, we're going to trade you to the Angels, I'm like, I don't want to go there. Nothing positive happens. I'm going to be going on the IL like
the Angels.
But
you get a free Tommy John surgery with every signing.
right, exactly.
But
when we grew up, Tommy John was an athlete. He was a pitcher, and now it's a surgery, right? So.
Yeah, I don't know whether they still haven't made any determination about what the problem is.
Now, because they say it's chronic, it's a chronic issue. So that doesn't mean that there's a tear or anything like that. It could be the ulnar nerve. It could be a bunch of different things. We'll have more definitive answers at the end of this week, they said.
Yeah, but they like John said, they should have had those answers in November.
Yeah, I mean, why didn't we have those answers in the off season? Hey, look at if he's going to be our number 2, right? Isn't he have to show? You might know this. Do these guys show up and throw, or do they have to go? Do they go to the stadium at all and throw?
They used to.
Right.
I mean, when I was with them, I would catch Percy and Lee Smith and those guys. During the off season, monster trucks would be in the stadium. We'd have the bullpen set up. I mean, but you don't see that as much anymore, except for the guys that are trying to make the team. They go to the Dominican Republic, go to Venezuela, go to the Caribbean, wherever they're playing. But they could have shut him down for the entire time and just say, hey, come back, do your PT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Strengthen the muscles, all that kind of stuff, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe he had stem cell. He could have had whatever.
Yeah, I just think they should, be more proactive. I mean, let's find out in September or August. Why wait till January, February to find out? I mean,
that's what's shocking to me because he's only thrown 2 innings, right? 2 innings, and he's like, ow, right? And I'm like, what? Like, you've had all this time off. Like, you shouldn't be feeling this.
Why does 2 years ago? Why did Pujols have surgery so late? Right.
That was another one.
Why did Shohei? I mean, there must be something going on behind the scenes that we're missing.
Well, and when they say on the on TV that he's going to start on the IL, and I'm like, get it. Okay, they think this rest is going to help it. And
maybe they're doing some type of therapy as well. You could do the stem cell, injections and all that kind of stuff to try and regenerate it. But
he rested all winter. Apparently, that he doesn't need any more rest.
Well, I mean, now that's let's just say he's done. Let's just say he's going to go get Tommy John. I mean, you got to have the Bundys of the worlds and the Suarezes and the the Middletons and the Sandovals. Like they got to step up because it's now you go Haney to a bunch of 4s, right?
Well, the great thing about Bundy is it's a step up from where he was.
Right.
He's happy as a clam right now, being out of Baltimore.
Right.
Well, who wouldn't be?
You're in Anaheim. You're people love you. You got a fresh start. You're going to be in good weather all the time. You're not going to be in that.
Plus, you're not in hitters park.
Right.
And he threw it. And then. Is it Tehran?
Yeah.
Is it groin issue? Is that what it is?
No, it was a hamstring.
It was a hamstring.
He threw
174 innings last year. I mean,
he'll be just fine. That guy's a workhorse.
Yeah.
The guys that have been starting for them have got. I don't know what Haney did today. They've got 19 scoreless innings.
Haney gave up 2.
2?
Yeah, gave up 2. He gave up a jack and something else. But the guy that looked good is Andres.
Yeah.
Right? Andres looked good. And I'm like, who's Andres? But he looked pretty good. Watched him during his outing, 2 days ago or something like that. So,
and he came up through the.
No, he was an off-season acquisition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of those signings that nobody talked about.
But I didn't realize that Bundy and Tehran were that durable. Those guys have been throwing.
Yeah.
Dylan Bundy, 3 years ago, that guy was a stud, right?
Yeah.
Then he was on 2 teams that lost 175 games, in a season.
And they had a first baseman, Davis, that hit what would he hit like?
081, right?
080,
Yeah, he was 0 for like 190. And then he got it
for 1990.
Yeah,
19.
Exactly. Yeah. But Chris Davis is on a tear.
29. Oh, is he?
Oh my God, that guy! Yeah, I watched him the other day. He was great. He looks like he's just reborn. Yeah, said he went into the offseason. He got stronger. He said he needed to get stronger so he could actually have a little bit more speed. And
okay.
I'm pulling for that guy.
Yeah,
because nobody wants to go 0 for 2 months.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. But I don't think these acquisitions the Angels have made during the offseason are a heck of a lot more impressive than what they
Well,
did last year.
They're going to score runs,
Harvey
and not getting Jock Peterson. I think that's telling us that Artie wants Adele up there in May, right? It's just
right. As soon as he hits that
1
45
month
days
deal,
or whatever,
45, yeah, he's up. I think you're gonna see him full time.
Right.
Who's that now?
Adele.
Joe Adele.
I just don't. I think if they didn't go get Jock Peterson, I think they're gonna say, okay, you're gonna be our either the fourth or you're gonna start, and then Goodwin will be our roving guy.
I don't think you bring him up to sit him.
No, I
and
don't.
Then you
think
have
so.
Goodwin as your rover, right? He gives everyone in the outfield a spell as well as Fletcher, right? Because Fletcher's been playing a lot of right field as well.
Right.
Because they want to keep Fletcher's
Theis
bat.
too is hitting the ball, the first baseman, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But Theis,
again, they're going to score. They're going to score runs. I mean, there ain't no doubt about it, right? They're going to score runs. It's like, can they keep the other runs off the board?
I think the pitching's going to be all right if they stay healthy.
well,
Can you write that down?
Yeah.
And then
mark the tape.
we're going to need you a little blood. And
Yeah.
just kind of put that on a piece of paper.
If they stay healthy.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. The thing with the Angels is that they are empty in the minor leagues as far as pitching. Right? They don't have anyone in the top 250 as far as pitching prospects in the MLB. Right? So they're going with what they have.
Yeah.
That's why they keep putting the finger in the dam the entire time because they just don't have it, which is amazing to me. Well, maybe it's because they chose a catcher first overall 3 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
And then they made him into third baseman and outfielders. So,
Yeah.
see how that's working for him.
Well, Sandoval and Ramirez, they re-signed that with
JC, and he was throwing 92.
He's back.
Yeah,
He's doing well.
After Tommy John, they let him go, and then they brought him back.
They've
Yeah,
got a lot of guys.
They do. They have, I don't know, like 40.
but it's a lot of but like you look at the Dodgers, like they're just loaded with pitching, right? It is crazy. Where ours is like Johnny Allstaff, like just come on up. We can get 4 out of him and 3 out of him and 2 out of this guy, and then tomorrow we'll have some guy start.
Mickey
for 2
Callaway's
innings
thinking about becoming a player coach.
Right, exactly. So.
Any more Angels, or you want to do a little Dodgers?
I'm
so
hopeful.
far I've been happy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's spring training,
It's
right?
spring training, so it doesn't matter.
You're right.
Mike Trout, if he can hit a golf ball as well, so,
Right, yeah.
big surprise there.
He had a golf ball on social media the other day.
677 yards.
Yeah, I don't think it's come down yet.
No.
Congratulations on being a dad, huh?
Yeah.
I hope there's a stipulation in,
know what,
his
though?
contract.
And it's a boy.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't understand. You're a baseball player. You know when the season is.
Right.
You're gonna have a kid in March. Is he already planning on being injured in March? He's going to take the rest of the the time off, or what?
Yeah.
I mean, at least do it in October when you know you're not going to be playing for sure, right? I mean,
we never know that. We were trying, and it just didn't click in.
yeah.
I hope there's a thing in his
There's so
contract
much.
where the Angels get the first shot at signing his son when he becomes.
Yeah.
Right. They
Yeah.
own the rights. Yeah.
Inherit those.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say on the Angels? Yeah, it looks like Middleton's doing well too.
Yeah,
that
Kenny
bullpen might be.
Bullpen's going to
Well,
be straight.
Middleton might have to be spot starter also.
Not Middleton.
Well, I'm just telling you, like if these
They
guys.
got so many guys that are. Dylan Peters,
Dylan Peters looked good the other day.
Yeah, they got a million guys. If they can just find 5 that are healthy.
Guys.
They have a million guys, but how many pitchers do they actually
And then
have?
Otani, he'll come back in mid-May.
Well, that's the other thing. That's the other positive. Is he even gonna throw
Here's
in spring
what
training?
I don't understand.
Because he's supposed to be a Sunday starter kind of guy, right?
Right.
Why are we kid gloving this guy so much? By the time he's matured enough to do what he's supposed to do, get paid and play, he's going to be on a different team, right? Use the guy, put him in. Let's throw him.
I thought he was 100%, right?
Yeah.
Or they
Otani?
Otani?
Oh, not from Tommy John. He's all right with it.
Well, I mean, he's got his throwing program. They said he went 180 feet. Everything's cool. He's throwing bullpens in the offseason. I don't understand the cautiousness with this guy.
Yeah.
Right? Play him.
Yeah.
You have a toy, play with it. Let's go.
Toy play with it. Yeah. I don't know. I think they're just so cautious with the kid, and I'd be surprised if he even. I don't think it sounds like he's not even going to throw in spring
Wasn't he
training.
injured back in Japan in 2015 or something? Didn't he have a short
Yeah,
season back there?
he's been known to be a little.
He's pretty fragile.
Yeah, right. So now it sounds like the way that I'm seeing it, you're not going to see him probably until after the All-Star break.
Nah, it'll be before that.
You think
End
so?
End of May.
End of May.
Because they'll start with rehab assignments. That's why they have that two-way.
That's a great
the
rule.
new two-way rule where he can do a rehab stint in like Rancho, and then come up and still hit. No problems.
Oh, okay.
So he can still be active as a hitter, but on the IR as a pitcher. Yeah.
Interesting.
The Ohtani rule.
I saw a quote from Walker Buehler. He wants to pitch 200 innings this year.
I wish every pitcher would think that way.
Yeah, but I wish the pitching coaches and the managers would think that way.
Yeah. That doesn't mean he's going. That's what he wants to do, but
yeah,
he also throws like 97. So if he can do it, he kind of
he throws
maybe he's the
games.
next Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
But I don't think he needs to, because I think that lineup is just stacked. That rotation.
Oh yeah,
they have just.
Well,
they have Gray. I watched Gray throw the other day against the Angels. The guy looks great. Guy from, I think he's from the Dominican or Venezuela. I mean, he looked great, and he's like 7, 8, 9. So I'm curious.
They lose Maeda and Ryu
and
they never missed a beat.
Right,
2 starters gone.
Yeah. No, 3. They lost the lefty to Minnesota.
That was Maeda.
Maeda.
No, he's a righty.
Rich
Hill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't missed a beat.
And because it's like Corey said, they're loaded in the minors.
Yep. They're not only are they good at drafting, they're great at scouting.
Yes.
The Angels really are a little stepchild compared to the Dodgers.
And we talked about it all last year about how our scouting is not good at all.
Well, they went in the toilet when they let Eddie Bain. You remember Eddie Bain?
Yeah, I do remember.
He
Eddie
was
Bain.
just he was a monster. He always had the best scouting guy, the best crew. They got the best prospects. They went in and dug people out of the bushes, and he always had great farm systems.
I mean,
they canned him in the early 2010 or something.
Well, yeah, it was. I think he had the 2009 draft.
Right,
where that draft was just money. It was Heaney and Skaggs and Kachuk and like all these guys that are still playing in the major leagues. I mean, amazing.
He was.
And Garrett Richards was part of that as well. I mean, a lot of great guys.
Yeah, is he pitching for the Padres?
I haven't seen.
I saw his name. I mean, I haven't really checked the Padres because they're the Padres, but
right. Because
that's
they're
too
the Padres.
SoCal.
Yeah.
Any other baseball thoughts?
Well, you were going to talk about some minor league stories.
Spring training brings that back some. You have so much time during spring training, right? So, I mean, the game is only 3.5 hours, right? Mm-hmm. You're there early, and then afterwards, after the game.
Some of the starters, they only go like 4 or 5 innings, and they're done, right?
The pitchers all go golfing afterwards. That's why all the pitchers are great golfers, because they throw their 3 innings, they go run a couple of poles, and then they're off to the course. But we had this when I was in camp. We had Bo Jackson in camp with us, right? After 2 hip surgeries. I mean, the guy was still an absolute, just a stud. And he was a great archer as well.
Yes, he still is. Yeah, he's still into it. Yeah.
So we had the clubbies and I were out there, and we would set up hay bales on the left field foul line at the corner. And we would start at like second base, and he'd put a $100 bill out there and tell the clubbie, if you can hit the $100 bill, you win it. But if I hit the face of the $100 bill, you each owe me $100, right? So we do it over and over and over, and Jason, one of the guys, hits it, and Bo throws down $100, no problem. But then we're corner to corner, right? So you're probably 100 yards, 110 yards away, and Bo is still hitting the face out of a $100 bill.
Wow.
So I mean, just amazing.
Yeah, I think he does his own arrows and all that kind of stuff. I saw a 30 on 30, I think, on him. That was he's totally into that.
Yeah,
a 3-star sport.
Oh man,
3 sports.
I don't think there's anything he couldn't do. Right, other than speak without a stutter. Right. But I mean, he was a phenomenal athlete.
Oh yeah.
Just watching him in the outfield against. I mean, that was a time that we had Garrett Anderson and Tim Salmon and Jim Edmonds and Erstad was coming up, and I mean, he was still the strength of the outfield. Just an absolute star.
A buddy of mine, I played high school baseball with. He got signed by the Royals. He played with him at the Memphis Chicks, and he said it was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
He said the guy's just a specimen.
Yeah.
Legs are, he's got running back legs.
Absolutely. So one quick story about Bo Jackson, right? So early in spring training, they used to have the catchers throw BP, right? Because the
Right.
pitchers were, they weren't up to speed yet. So I got my assignment in the morning, and hey, Wojo, you're on field 3, and da-da-da-da. So I go out there, and there's all these press around the batting cage, and I'm like, how does everyone know that I'm here, right? And then if first person in the cages is Bo, and I'm thinking, okay, here we go. And they had told me right before, you got to bring it a little bit, bring 85, 86. You got to have a little bit of zip on it. And the whole time I'm thinking, don't hit him in the hip, don't, because he just
there you
came
go,
back.
there you go.
First thing at first pitch, right in the hip, man, boom, flash ball, everyone's going off, and Bo Jackson, laughing and shakes a bat at me, and he goes, that young man's going to cost you dinner. And I'm like, all right, so $506 later at Ruth Chris with Bo Jackson. But great. I mean,
Wow.
What an awesome guy, though.
Yeah. Seems like it. Down to earth country boy, huh?
Hanging out
Auburn University.
hanging out with the clubbies, right? And just doing things that, normal guys do. Never would you ever hear anything bad about that guy. Never in trouble, nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just a good athlete.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Excuse me. Ducks Kings still.
It is what it is. They're just going to play it out. Yeah, play it out and try to find some kids that can carry it over into the next year. I know they sent some kids down to try to win the AHL championship. Right. So to get those guys playing together a little bit, but it is what it is.
I like what the Ducks have done.
They had to go skillful, right? They need guys that can score.
Skill and youth,
right? And they need speed, and that's just that's just the way the sport's going now. And
right.
And I just see them, trying to work into. I think the $100,000 question is what are they going to do with Getzlaf? Like, it's either he's kind of come to him and said, look, just let me finish this out and I'm done.
Nope.
Or no, I want to go play. If I'm going to go play to win a cup, right? And I just don't think, to be honest with you, they're going to get. I don't know what they're going to get out of him. He's not a goal scorer anymore. No. He's a big body, out there, but he does try to push people around. He's a great passer of the puck.
Passer, yeah.
But that's it. Like, I don't see him being the gets off in the
player coach.
No chance.
I'm
What's up with these player coaches that are coming out of your head?
Dallas Aikens is going to take a GM position. He's going to become the player coach.
So I just don't
what do
know.
you do with Murray?
Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do with him. That's a they must have tried to put something out, but he's probably got a no trade clause, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I thought. Perry. That's right. Perry's contract ran out.
Yeah.
Kings
problem. Beat the Knights 4-1.
Yeah,
there's your
good
Kings
win.
report.
Yeah,
they won now?
They beat the Knights 4-1 the other night.
Yeah, the Kings. Yeah, there's.
And I can't believe that they haven't let Quick go. It's another guy. Or any of those guys. Try to get better players out, but probably big contracts that people don't want to bring on.
Yeah, they've got he and there's a few big contracts. Dowdy's got big contract. Yeah, that's tough. What about the Chargers? I mean, the Chargers are twiddling their thumbs. What are they going to do at the quarterback spot?
Here's the deal. Like, first of all, this is where it starts to get crazy because this got mock draft and you've got your mock draft and you're like, and nobody knows. Nobody really knows.
No.
It's like, we have a better chance of figuring out the lotto numbers than these guys have how the way the draft's going to go, right? So, now this morning was there could be 5 quarterbacks that go in the top 10. I'm like, wow. What do the Chargers need? Well, they need an offensive lineman. Right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
So that's the given, right? That is the given. Like, they need an offensive lineman. So is the guy Jordan Love, is the guy Herbert from Oregon, is he the wow factor? Is this your future? Are these the guys you want to spend on a first-round draft pick as your future? Which tells me if, some mock drafts have them taking, offensive lineman from Louisville, then they do the quarterback, which tells me I think a guy like Brady, if he's going to go, I think he wants to be protected. And I don't think L.A. is the place.
That's no lie.
But I'll tell you, Tennessee is the place. Yeah. You've got a good running game. If they could go out and get some receivers, and is Brown going to go to Tennessee, right?
In New England, he's got a great team, right?
So is Brown going to go? Antonio Brown going to go to Tennessee and play for that team, right? I don't know what's going. Nobody knows. But what's crazy about the combine is it's all about Brady. Where's Brady going to go?
Yeah.
Right.
And wherever Brady goes, then that's when the mock draft starts, right?
Yeah.
So that's the whole deal. It's like what's funny is it's all about a 40-year-old quarterback, right?
42-ish,
all right, whatever. But when he decides on where he's going to go, then that's how the mock drafts are going, or that's how the legitimate drafts are going to be going to go. So, I don't know. I don't know what I don't know if Chargers are going to go get 2 B quarterbacks. Like, they're going to go out and get a Dalton or somebody like
that. They're going to get Marcus Mariota.
Yeah,
so a B quarterback.
You get Marcus Mariota. You have Tyrod Taylor.
Right. You have 2 B quarterbacks, right?
Sure.
And then possibly get the kid from Clemson next year. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to want to trade
Lawrence,
up, but you need to protect these guys. Like they have the wide receiver crew.
Yep.
They do. So
they got the back, and they've got.
What do you with
well, no, we don't have the back's not signed yet.
What do you with Gordon?
So that's the whole deal. Like, do you is that your main focus? Is giving Gordon his money? Then I don't know what you got to go get a running back then. Because
I think running backs are pretty easy to find.
Well, what's his name? Played pretty
here,
well.
I got one right here.
Exactly.
Here you go. There's one right there.
Who's the guy? Eckler?
Eckler. Yeah, he's a scrappy little Sproles kind of player. He's good. He runs downhill, but he's not your lead running back. You need to have somebody that's going to hammer a majority of the time and get you yardage. He's great out of the backfield, and
what
he's
you need
sneaky. But
in running back, young, fresh legs.
Right.
Running back, the shelf life on running backs now is like 2 to 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Max,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't pay those guys. Right. I'd go get another guy and just let him run wild for 2 seasons.
I think the Rams are discovering that.
Yeah. No kidding, man. They've got an anchor around their neck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to take that contract.
And it's been very quiet on the Rams sideline, hasn't it?
All of a sudden, he's not such a genius anymore.
They said Donald has clicked in with some trainer dude, and he's getting ripped. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that guy's going to get faster. That guy's going to get faster.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Put him at running back.
He's on some big training regiment with some trainer. And
some guy named Tom Brady and his trainer are working out. You heard it here first, right?
Right, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, I my whole deal is I think that they need to keep securing the front line there with offensive linemen.
Chargers.
The Rams. Because when Goff has time, he's good. When Goff has to scramble, that's when he gets scary.
I think it's when Goff has a running game, so then go play action,
which opens up, right? Exactly. Right. But when you give him time and he doesn't have to scramble, because when he scrambles, that's when he makes stupid mistakes, right? But again, if you can run the ball, that opens up the play action, and then you can go from there. So great point there. But I don't. It's been very quiet over there, and I don't know what they're really kind of working on.
I know they love to dump Gurley, but nobody's going to take him.
Somebody will take him.
There's too many question marks on his
health. That's a big contract.
It's a huge contract.
They might have to do one of the, do a Boston, eat half the contract or something like that.
I don't think the Rams would rather just use them and just say, hey, look, you're going to be limited, and go out.
That restriction, they got no money now,
They got to be able to get the kid more reps. The kid from Memphis last year that they signed on.
Right.
Who's the speedster. They can catch the ball out of the backfield, but.
Well,
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like I say, it's been very quiet.
It's about ready to get really exciting, really fast. With we just finished the combine, which was very interesting. Then you got the draft coming up in April. Then everything breaks loose after that. So
it's another bad thing. Rams have no picks.
Yeah.
They have all their picks for
their cupboard is.
That's why it's been very quiet over there.
They're not any mock drafts.
We don't know who we're going to get in the 5th round.
Yeah,
the 177th player.
Right, yeah.
Oh, that's the guy we were hoping.
Yeah, exactly.
He just slipped through 176.
We scouted him all year.
Yeah.
That's the guy we wanted.
The XFL, another tight loss for the LA Wildcats, 17-14 in New York. Anybody watch that one?
I didn't, but when I look at these scores, I just think it was going to be more of like these 40 to 30 games.
I thought it was going to be USFL-ish.
And
with all those opportunities to.
The first week was like 9-6, and now it's like 17-14. I'm like, defense is supposed to not be a part of this whole thing. It's supposed to be all offense, and
I think it's sort of backfiring on them right now.
It is like it's almost like they're going to give them their own defensive lineman.
You're
not allowed to rush,
right? Yeah, you have to count to 5. But the big problem is there's no quarterbacks, right? I mean, Ryan Tannehill's a star in the NFL right now, and he's a crap quarterback, right? I mean, how do you find these are 4th and 5th tier quarterbacks? These are
Landry
guys
Jones,
Cardell.
These are guys that would not make the CFL, right? Oh, I don't want to go play in Canada, right? Okay, but you couldn't make it up there. But that's why you're playing the XFL right now, first season. I think going forward, I think they'll have a chance to get better talent going forward.
But that's the whole thing offensively. That's what's it's either the kids are better defensively on these teams, or the offenses are bad. Like, I don't know what it is yet. Are they still trying to figure themselves out? But I would like these games to be more like 30-20 and 40-30.
Yeah, that's what people want.
9-6 and 17-14. Like that's what that's going to hurt the XFL is if there's no scoring. Like people want to see touchdown. Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. No, it becomes
soccer.
Major League Soccer.
Yeah, MSL. Yeah.
Does anybody keep track of the attendance? How are the attendance? I know
the attendance figures have been going up.
Have they?
The attendance figures have been going up, but the viewership has been going down, and that's the problem.
Because there's a big money contract.
Yeah, because that's where they have to make their money is through the. Now again, if there is a strike by the NFL, which it looks like it's not going to happen anymore, that would help them out a little bit. But
I know a lot of the veteran NFL guys do not want this contract, but all the younger guys are out.
The 10-year contract, they're going to take it.
They're going to take it. They're going to take it, yeah. And they're going to play that 17th game. I think that
they took off the stipulation $250,000.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I would have done it. I would have played the 17th game for $250K. I'm just saying.
That's you. Yeah. But, you're a backup.
You're not making $1 million for 16 games.
But he's a backup holder.
Right.
So,
Backup holder.
Hey, now.
I couldn't believe that the Major League Soccer just opened the season. It seems like it just ended.
On social media, I saw some buddies that were at the LAFC game, and I'm like, I forgot there was a game. I didn't know there was a game, but it was a barn burner at 1-0. I guess.
Carlos Vela.
Yeah.
We picked up where he left off last year.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is they have so many tournaments during the season that they take 2 weeks off here to go play a tournament in Mexico and.
Yeah, so what's gonna happen? Like, did they start it earlier because of the Olympics?
I think so.
Because is that the other reason?
Because they're going to play in the Olympics.
Because a lot of these guys go off and play for their countries, right? So that's August. That is if there is going to be Olympics, with this whole thing going on. But that's why I have a feeling it started early, is because of that.
It's sort of how the NHL did it before when they played that Olympic tournament midseason, and
right. Yeah, I remember.
And Baseball Classic for the MLB next year.
Yeah,
they'll start spring training much earlier.
Oh, that's right. Oh, because
right.
We're talking about becoming the jersey of that.
I hate to beat a dead horse, but another one died.
You did.
Another one died.
You just did. Yeah. Look, it's part of racing. It's you can't just say it's Santa Anita. It's everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's everywhere. No matter what you do, it's that Gulf Stream. It's everywhere, right? So. What I think needs to be monitored here is trainers being possibly influenced by owners to say, you need to run my horse,
right.
and the train going, no, your horse isn't ready. Well, you know what, he's ready, and he shoots these horses up. Like something's going to have to be monitored there. But look at you're going around. You got these big bodies, and they're stepping on each other, and I don't know how many of these. You can blame it on the track.
You can't blame it on the track.
It's just, I think a lot of it is, just monitor the trainers making bad decisions. And the trainers probably will look at you and say, it's not really my decision. He's making it, right? Yeah. So that's the kind of thing that needs to be dissected, I think, here and looked at a little bit more. But, look at it. It happens everywhere. I mean, thousands of horses go down a year. So.
I think something to look at as well is the breeding. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, these horses have been bred so thin, I mean, it's just you take all these different attributes and you breed them with. So they've made everything so that you've got this giant body with these spindly legs, right? It's olive oil, basically, right? Yeah. And it doesn't hold
too
up.
much weight.
Plus, I mean, like you said, it's the drugs that they use to keep them going and get them going.
Exactly. Keep the pain relief, and they don't feel it.
Right.
So, and they're running fast.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, sad.
It is. But it's certainly not just localized. I mean,
it's everywhere.
No, it's everywhere. Just
worldwide.
We're in California and everything's exaggerated with
exactly.
our friends. So
all right, John, it's your PGA Honda Classic.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
M.
So yeah, no, it's great. He kind of came out at the President's Cup and held his own and was one of the strong players there. He's a grinder. He plays almost every week. I don't think he owns a home. I think he just lives at hotels constantly.
Really?
Yeah. But a great ball striker.
Are you saying
flat out.
He's homeless?
I guess so. Yeah, he's homeless. Yeah.
Okay.
He's homeless.
The best homeless golfer I've ever seen.
Yeah, he is actually. And the richest homeless golfer.
He could buy several homes right now.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we're kind of shocked he doesn't own a home somewhere. But it's a golf course that's very hard. It's very hard. It got a little cold, but it gets windy out there, and there's water on every single hole. The finish, which is called the Bear Trap, which is 15, 16, 17, is just insanely hard. And then 18's a reachable par 5 for these guys, and a guy like Tommy Fleetwood makes birdie on 17 to put himself one shot back or two shots back, and then had one shot back. And went for a flag that I don't think he should have went after. It's a par 5 where he's hitting 3-wood and trying to hit it, over your roof and stop it on your driveway. I mean, it's just a toe, and you're hitting something from 250. It's just almost impossible. So I either he missed it or he should have went at a different angle and tried to chip it in through a bunker or something like that. So there was some aggressive plays on the last hole that kind of bit some guys, but. Overall, it was good. It's his first win on the PGA Tour, which was really big. I know that Paul Azinger kind of came out and said some things on social media about Tommy Fleetwood, saying, "Hey, look, if you're ever going to be one of the best players in the world, you've got to win in America and not on Europe." And that actually pissed off a lot of European Tour pros who voiced their opinion towards Azinger, saying, "Hey, look at more or less what it kind of came out is the European Tour is like." Just above the Korn Ferry Tour, right? Which is a little bit,
it's a Nike
like
tour.
It's
AAA.
It's AAA, and you got the guys like the Poulters and the Westwoods and these kind of guys kind of coming at him saying, well, why don't we just look at the last Ryder Cups? So I looked at the last Ryder Cups, and since 1985, Europe is 12-5 against the USA, and so they do have great players. Now, Azinger is, I guarantee you, Azinger's like, you're absolutely right. You have great players. But those great players have won on American soil. Tommy Fleetwood's a great player, but if he's going to be an elite player, he's going to have to win in the United States. Kind of see both ways a little bit, but I think Azinger kind of routed it. I think he could have worded it in a better way instead of just being.
I think he did a great job.
But that's what I think. That's what I think NBC wants.
Sure,
right?
They
want something like that. They want negative deal because Johnny Miller gave you negative stuff. He's that's a bad shot. That's he doesn't he said stuff like scoring. So I think NBC's going, yes, this negative kind of coming at you. That's exactly what we want. Keep doing it. Right, because they don't want everybody to be so nice, right. So I think that's kind of the way that I think. I don't know if that's a producer shooting that in his ear and him saying it, or it just off the cuff said it. But it was it got a lot of attention over the water, and now they're at Arnie's place this week. So Bay Hill. So Tiger is not playing. So I don't know. I didn't check. I don't know if it's he just still wants rest. But that's pretty much almost. It's in his old backyard. It's where he used to live. Right. So
maybe he has bad feelings or bad bad stories,
bad memories.
Bad memories of
memory of a 9-iron.
Going through a back windshield.
So I just don't think he's healthy. I think in his mind, I think he's just prepping for Augusta, right? And first week of April.
He's going to play one turn.
So he'll probably play one before that. I don't know where it'll be, but maybe it's 2 weeks prior or a week prior, and then prep himself for that. So I think the big thing right now, what's going around the tour is who's going to represent the United States as the Olympian. And DJ just kind of came back and said, I'm out. I'm not doing it because I want to, quote, focus on the FedEx Cup points. which means he doesn't want to go to Asia because of this virus possibly. That's so right now it's Justin Thomas and I forget who the other guy. That's Tiger's fifth. Koepka. Koepka's one. Justin Thomas is two.
What happened to my buddy Spieth?
Yeah, he's struggling ball striking wise.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on there, but it needs to get better.
Yeah.
So, but that's about it. That's all I got for you.
I think we are. Anything else from anybody?
Nope.
I want to say again that for our first-time viewers or regulars, go ahead and give us a little support. We'd appreciate that. And we will be back next week with another hour of fun and laughter. So please stop by and join us. And that is it for tonight. We are out.
Peace.